Yo, today we have StillKevin. Yo, Kevin, I didn't even know you had a side channel. This nigga always drops bangers. No matter what video he drops, it's gonna be fucking hilarious. Let's get into this. I saw The Last of Us and Wolverine. Wonder what this gonna be about though.
In every form of media, there's one thing you always
Like
notice.
already.
The grunts, the minions, the
Ah,
nameless henchmen, the disposable soldiers, the faceless goons. And no matter what they're up against, they could be staring into the eyes of Kratos himself with the goatee and won't hesitate to swing. Main reason why this thought came to mind is because last night I was watching random movie clips and Batman vs Superman popped up. The warehouse scene specifically. I didn't realize how crazy this was until I rewatched it. And just look at the first mistake these guys made. When has Batman ever walked through the front door? And why would he start now? These guys must be the new hires. They forgot to send the supervisors with them. Y'all been doing this for how long and think Batman's gonna ring the doorbell, knock on a door, asking permission to enter? So he breaks through the floor, puts a mini bomb on everyone's guns, and after that, y'all should have left. Trying to fight Batman hand to hand is like trying to block a nuke. What's the point? But what makes this even worse is that this Batman is a killer. He grappled the guy's shoulder, brought him in, and caved in his chest. He can't breathe no more. There's a hole where his lungs should be. And look at this
Really,
idiot.
bro?
First of all, your entire squad is in this room and you want to throw a grenade?
What?
Sure. But the fact that you waited for Batman to turn around and do something is nuts. Now you and your homeboy's dead. And I will say this is the closest we'll get to a live action Arkham Batman. Like, look, a 180 up and over rock bottom. What do you even call that move? And look at this guy. He said, oh shit. Saw his homeboy get hit with a finisher. He regretted every action that led to this day. And I'll never understand what goes through these grunts' mind, because you just saw him pull off that move while fighting 3 people. Instead of reloading your gun, because there's no way you just have one clip, you decide to pull out knives. But you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you thought he got lucky. After all, there's like 20 of y'all, right? But I feel like after he grabbed this guy's head, slammed it on the box, and then proceeded to use that same box, cracking that nigga's skull with it like he's dead. The man was wearing a beanie in the blood.
Yo, The Dark Knight. I did not know he kills. What the fuck? I only watched the original trilogy, but this nigga damn, I forgot this nigga's name. He's my favorite actor. What the fuck? The nigga from American Psycho, bro.
Cracking that nigga's skull with it like he's dead. The man was wearing a beanie and the blood still went through. There's no chance he's alive. I told y'all, this Batman is out for blood. And then he purposely walks into a 1v4. And I want you to pay attention to this guy right here in the brown jacket and count the amount of times he could have escaped his demise. Oh, Frib, backhand, get your ass out of here. He comes back and you know what? Sure, you ain't get hit hard enough yet. So then he gets a mouthful of elbow, and you would think getting smacked 5 feet across the room, you have a change of heart. Like, oh shit, maybe I should just not fight the Batman anymore. I got spared 2 times. I think it's a sign to turn my life around. But no, he comes back again. And then after witnessing his homeboy get whiplash, he comes back again, and Batman finally put him down. He was given 3 chances to avoid bodily harm and chose to ignore every single one. And then Batman chose to break this man's neck. Dreadhead runs in to do absolutely nothing, got 3 big booms to the back of his cranium, and honestly, this is the smartest goon Gotham has. The only one to aim for Batman's head. It's unfortunate that it's armored, but it's the heart that counts. And you cannot make this up. The guy is back for the 5th time. Why are you so determined to die? And I'm like 97% positive Batman is annoyed at this point. Look how he turned around. And I gotta mention, his theme song fits perfectly. I felt no sense of hope, no justice. This was a song for a villain. Then the guy behind decided he'd prefer to live life without teeth, and then gets thrown back first into the wall. And till this day, I have no clue what Batman did to this nigga. I don't think he was fighting to save Martha anymore. This was a personal vendetta. But the next on the list is Wolverine. We gonna take this one back to the X2 movie when Stryker had his grunts invade the mansion. Now, fighting Batman, I can somewhat not really understand. Batman, at the end of the day, is mortal. He can technically be killed. But Wolverine will not. If I was one of those soldiers and Stryker told me to invade the X mansion, I'm telling him fuck no. Don't Wolverine live there? I'm not entering any establishment with that man in it. If he wasn't there, maybe. Wolverine is the only one there
Think
I
so?
know for certain will kill you. The
Oh,
others is
the X-Men
50-50. They
folks
might
are
just
like
hit you
hated.
really hard. Wolverine will stab you in your chest yelling dead in your face. I'm not going for that. But oh, they have these darts that knocks people out. But like, come on. Any poison, anesthesia, or whatever is a coin flip using it on him. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not taking that risk. We can even take it to the 2013 Wolverine movie. Now, I don't remember exactly if the grunts knew his healing factor was weakened, but I feel like after the first encounter, when he tanked a point-blank shotgun, something should have ringed in your head like, hey, even when weakened, I
Now,
can't hang
Quilly
with him.
look tough.
Maybe I should just go home. But nah, they decided to follow him on the train,
Is the
where
X-Men
he
series
tanks a
worth it?
bullet, tanks
At
2
least
stabs to the
Wolverine
back,
movies?
and still handle them. So let's cut to where he pulls up on his village area. The final boss is in that castle, and I can't fully blame the grunts here because they didn't know he got his healing factor back until the actual fight starts, and because they do actually win this encounter
Still look like the
only
Buckner brother
because he
too.
got dumbed down for plot. But the moment he got slashed on the face and it healed, y'all should have immediately went to plan B. Fighting Wolverine head on is like
Said it
purposely
looks tough.
walking into a semi-truck. Like, why are y'all playing on bikes? What is that gonna do? They tried trapping him in a net like he doesn't cut through metal every movie, and I swear they be getting him mixed up for someone else. This man does not care about your well-being. He tossed this guy into the snowblower. Like, I see that. I'm hiding in one of the houses, real shit. 30 seconds later, he grabs that bike and smacked the dude with it. And after looking through some of these movies, I just now realized Wolverine is an ore farmer. He sees that they're surrounded, so you know what he does? Pulls out a cigar and blew the truck up. Made sure to turn around real slow. And he really wasted that cigar too. He took one puff and threw it on the ground. Now, the only reason I say him losing this encounter is nonsense is because they start shooting these harpoon arrows at him, right? After the first 3, he just completely gave up on taking them out, cutting them off, just continued running in a straight line.
What?
No ducking in between alleyways, no cutting through buildings, just kept going straight. Then got hit with poison, which is why he got knocked out, but he could have avoided that. But the next one isn't a movie or a superhero. We're kind of taking a different approach. Nicole Watterson. Everyone that isn't her, I consider a grunt. So in the first season, Gumball was getting bullied by Tina. Anais, being a W sister, calls her line and told her, hey, stop picking on my brother, but that immediately turned into a word. Matter of fact, just for that,
Still haven't
pull
seen
up
the new
tomorrow at 4
season of
p.m. I'm
Gumball.
finna beat
Fuck,
his
man.
ass now. So everything just got worse. And for the rest of the episode, they were trying to figure out a way to avoid the fight or just tank the beating. That's until Nicole found out. She ain't waste no time. The second she heard that, she got in the whip, pulled up to the
Remember
crib, and I
this.
don't know who Tina thinks she is trying to run us down, told her to sit, walked up to her pops and whooped his ass in his own house. Now, after this incident, I'm
Gumball top
expecting
10.
everyone to know what's up. The hierarchy has changed. The teachers were even scared to help Gumball when they found out Tina was involved. So the one who beat her dad, avoid at all costs. But clearly they didn't get the message. Cause for some reason, folks thought it was a good idea to take over the Watterson's house. Started running amok, doing whatever they
Remember
wanted.
this.
Even got kicked out of the crib when they told him to get out. So that's
Even
when
years.
Nicole comes home. And this dude had the audacity to say, or what? Gave that boy the penance stare. Everyone got to work real quick. And you would think her family will understand the most, but even they be trying her. Yeah, at the end of the day, she's still your mom, your wife, but even so, when she's in a bad mood, it's best to be on your best behavior. And
Hockey
if you're black,
character.
I know you remember these words vividly, or at least some variation of it. Don't be acting a fool when we get up in a store, and that's exactly what they were doing. Acting a damn fool. She sent them to the car like 3 times. One of those times, Richard came back trying to assert dominance, but she just looked at him. Conqueror's hockey. And they just kept coming back,
Why
and it
is his
got
nipples
so
up?
bad that she snapped on this lady who was just trying to offer her a massage. But the worst mistake Richard made was the fact that he took his kids shoplifting, all because they wanted some candy. Funniest part was, this security guard brought them to Nicole like she was the law enforcement. But at this point, she fully snaps, chasing Richard throughout the entire store. The same security guard, for some reason, decides to tase her. So she quite literally proceeds
know why
to
that's
kill the man, took his life force away, and now you gotta sit there and perish inside a Walmart, all because you couldn't mind your business. Now, I don't know what she was gonna do to Richard, but lucky for him, she found herself. And we can even bring up some of her other feats too, like having a literal anime fight, conjuring up Kamehamehas, or like the what if moment if she never met Richard, so she became the emperor of the world or some shit. Or when Larry, the guy who works every job in the town, quit, went from a peaceful place to a damn
You never seen
purge.
that
And
little
I
guy ever
brought this
again.
up because Nicole quite literally whooped everyone's ass and then killed the balloon. That balloon was a child, by the way, if you didn't know. But the last entry on the list is really just the entire
Really?
game, The Last of Us, specifically Part 2. Tommy and Ellie treated Seattle like their hunting ground.
Top 2 duo. Best crew ever, bro. Shout out to them, bro. Shout out
Specifically
Tommy Face,
Part 2.
Tommy, and
Tommy
Ellie.
and Ellie treated Seattle like their hunting grounds. So after the death of Joel, they both set out to get revenge. We never
Demon.
actually see Tommy do anything, we just see the aftermath.
Yeah,
One of the ones
it's
who killed Joel, dead, tied to a chair. Turn a corner, we see another guy, dead, also strapped to a chair. Also, at some point when you gotta play as Abby, you see the sheer amount of bodies their side laid to rest. Half of those by Tommy. We also gotta see
Face
Manny bitch ass
Tommy.
get put down. That was the only person in Abby's group that I actually hated. Then afterwards, Ellie does end up getting captured. Wakes up to this dude all up in her face. Now, if he was smart, he would have killed her immediately. He recognized her too. He deadass said, oh yeah, the guy we killed up in Jackson, yes, she was there. And I'm pretty sure she said like 5 times that she was gonna kill us. And somehow she tracked us down here, but everything's under control. He even stopped the other dude who was gonna kill her. And you know what that got him? A bullet to the back and a knife to the neck. And they proceed to escape the building, whether you shot your way out or snuck your way out. Me personally, no one was escaping that day. I was doing it for Joel. And there's multiple sections of the game in between the main kills where she is taking down platoons of soldiers running through every rank, all by herself, by the way. And even when Jesse pulls up, when they're trying to escape with the car, she is
Shit
shooting
was
out
so
the
tough,
back
bro.
of
I'm
the
about to
window,
replay this
taking
last one
heads
again.
off shoulders. Mind you, Ellie is doing all this with Tommy doing the same shit on the other block. Those two single-handedly took down a quarter of their army. If I was the leader, I'm handing Abby over. I realized my wrongs. I made a severe mistake. I should have never let Abby leave the nest. And for my wrongdoings, I offer her and her
Yeah.
friends in hopes that'll resolve my failure. That would have been the correct response. Order all your troops to allow passage. There's no reason a human being should be able to take down groups of trained soldiers equipped with guns using a damn bow and arrow. And when they got a lead on Nora's whereabouts, one of Abby's friends that were there when they killed Joel, she left that same minute. Dina was like, yo, at least wait for Jesse to wake up. No, not waiting for that boy, I'm leaving. So on her way, she runs into the soldier who was just chilling. Ellie says, hey, where's Nora? She gonna tell us exactly where she is. Oh, Nora, yeah, she's in the hospital right now clearing the upper floor, so when you get there, take 2 lefts and then a right. The doorknob is broken, so look for the door that's cracked if you forget the directions. Like, she didn't even try to lie. Then she tries to attack Ellie like, dude, she's looking directly at you. That shit was not gonna work. You gave up Nora's location for no reason. The way this interaction usually works is that when you give information, you might get to live. So when Ellie let the blade up, instead of trying to stab her, you should have created some distance. I'm not saying you gotta let her leave, but at least give yourself better odds. So she finally gets to Nora, and Nora decides to antagonize her by saying, oh, do you still hear her screams?
What?
I do. Yeah, that little bitch got what he deserves. See, like, now we have to kill you. Had us running throughout the building until they fell into this pit of spores. And bro, the red room scene with the music in the back, and Nora was like, wait, how are you breathing in spores? You're her. I had the constant stank face the entire time. This scene was so tough. So Ellie asked, where's Abby, and why would she tell her anything? She inhaled spores. She's dead anyway, right?
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
And she deadass beat the info out of her. I also want to mention, this is the only scene the HBO series did justice. Everything else about that show is ass. So then we cut to the end of the game when Ellie is closing in on Abby. She ends up getting caught in a trap,
This was
stabbed
ass.
in the
I did
side,
not
so
like
she's
this.
injured. She passes out.
Why
These
did you
2
show
guys
that,
pull
man?
up, cuts her down. Goofy ass got too close to the clicker, so Ellie says,
Something funny?
Oh, bitch.
so this dumbass is going to take her towards the clicker, somehow got reversed, so now he's getting bit up, so Ellie takes his gun and shoots the other dude. Lost to an injured Ellie losing blood, y'all are sorry. But at the same time, that's my go. I expect nothing less. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, so I Nah,
Kevin, bro, you're a fucking goat, bro. No matter what you do, you're still a fucking goat, bro. Holy, might give yo. This was just a. I didn't even know you had a side channel too. This is a great collection of videos. That's it. He's the goat.